Kitchen. I'm Kat, and today we are going to be using the Chobani Cookie Dough Creamer 5 different ways. Of course, the easiest way to use a normal creamer is to just add it in your hot coffee. But today we're gonna go through 5 different recipes to just help you get a little creative with your morning coffee or your matcha or your breakfast, just in case you're looking for some extra uses for your coffee creamer. So let's jump into the first recipe. Recipe number 1 is a chocolate chip cookie dough cold brew. This drink is delicious, like actually delicious. Ingredients you'll need: Chobani Cookie Dough Creamer. I found this at Target. Heavy whipping cream, Torani chocolate chip cookie dough syrup. I love, love, love this one. It is just so good, so buttery, chocolatey, delish. And it pairs really nicely with the creamer. Some cold brew. You can make cold brew at home or buy it from the store. My favorite is the Stoke cold brew in this green label bottle. This one is unsweet, just black cold brew. There's nothing in it. This is hands down the best store-bought cold brew I've ever tried. I love it even more than homemade. So I do opt for the bottled cold brew, but again, make yours at home if you want. And then some ice, because we're doing an iced cold brew. And I do a little tiny bit of flaky salt just to really bring out the chocolate chip cookie dough flavor, but that is optional. So and cocoa powder. Where's my cocoa powder? And some cocoa powder. Almost forgot the cocoa powder. Cocoa powder. Let's get into the recipe. First things first, I'm the realist. Boom, boom, chicka, wow, wow. I have a cup of ice here. I was just keeping it cold in this little Java sock sleeve. If you've never heard of Java sock, they're little sleeves that go on your iced coffee cups or iced tea cups or soda, lemonade, whatever. And it keeps the drink colder longer. So when it's in the insulated sleeve, the ice isn't melting. So love Java socks. Use them every day. Cup with ice, and then going in with the Torani chocolate chip cookie dough syrup. Do half a tablespoon to a tablespoon, depending on how sweet you want it. Love this one. And cold brew. I do about 12 ounces into the cup. And I want to leave a little bit of room because I am going to make a cold foam. The label on this bottle is like all wonky. It's like on the side. So if I want to put it flat, you can't see it. Anyway, cold brew. And I like just a little splash of heavy whipping cream. You could also do half and half, dairy-free half and half, milk, whatever splash of dairy you like. Or, you know, don't. I like just a little bit so that the cold brew isn't too strong. So I'm gonna set the cold brew aside momentarily so we can make our little cookie dough cold foam. Chobani Cookie Dough Creamer. This one is delicious. I found this at Target. I don't know where else you can find it. Probably Fry's. Some grocery stores carry it. I know not all of them do, at least not yet. And I'm not sure if this is a limited edition flavor. It might be, unless we all start buying it. I'm doing 2 tablespoons of the creamer. And then I like to add just a little bit of heavy whipping cream, about half a tablespoon to a tablespoon to the creamer, just because on its own, it doesn't froth up super well. Like, it'll froth, but then it's similar to half and half where it'll just sink into the drink almost instantly. So I give it a little splash of heavy whipping cream to just thicken it up a little bit more so it's more cold foam-esque and less creamer-esque, you know what I mean? And then a little pinch of flaky sea salt just to bring out that cookie dough flavor. And the MVP of this recipe is this milk frother. It's by Bonson Kitchen. You can get it from Amazon. It's the best one I've ever tried. Genuinely, I love it and I recommend it all the time. It's like $8 on Amazon. It'll last you forever. Just replace the batteries when it gets old. When it gets old, when it gets tired. I do about 60 seconds, which is plenty of time for it to get thick and frothy. And I don't do anything special. I do like small circles just to make sure that I'm getting all of the liquid nice and frothy. I don't want to just keep it at the top and then completely neglect all the cream at the bottom. You can see I am pushing the milk frother down to the bottom of the cup, bringing it up a little bit, just making some low circles to get all of it incorporated and nice and thick. If it's not thick enough to your liking, add more heavy cream and or froth for a longer period of time. This is looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Usually 60 seconds is enough time to get the thickness we want. When you pull the milk frother out, it should kind of coat the bottom of the milk frother. The more heavy whipping cream you use, the thicker it's going to be. This heavy whipping cream just has a really high fat content. Pouring the cookie dough cold foam over the top. Oh my word. It looks so good. Let me just taste it real quick because it's about to spill over. Oh my gosh, delightful. And lastly, just a sprinkle of cocoa powder. Usually cocoa powder clumps quite a bit, so I like to use a little sifter to kind of sprinkle, like a light dusting. But if you don't want to dirty an extra dish, just skip this step. Just put a little bit of cocoa powder in the sifter and then just tap, 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 tap. So it's like a snowfall of cocoa powder. Just like that. Just like that. Stunning. You're kidding. This is beautiful. Sorry, I had to take pictures. She was so beautiful. So you notice that there is a little seepage of the cold foam, like going into the drink. If you don't like that, just use more heavy whipping cream. That's it. Taste test. It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. So beautiful. Oh my word. Goodness gracious. That's delightful. This creamer is really, really good, especially when paired with the chocolate chip cookie dough Torani syrup. Oh my gosh, Becky. 5,000 out of 10. You have to try this recipe. It is so, so good. If you don't have the Torani chocolate chip cookie dough syrup and you don't want to purchase it, you can simply just froth up the cookie dough creamer. Totally up to you. I think they pair nicely together, and this does give enough of a buttery, chocolatey flavor that it does taste different than the creamer itself. So I do think it improves the cold brew rather than just doing the cookie dough creamer, but note that you can do just the cookie dough creamer if you wanted. Oh man, this is just really, really good. Delightful. Let's move on to recipe number 2. All right, recipe number 2 is a hot cookie dough latte. You only need a few ingredients. Number 1 being a double shot of espresso. I just pulled a double shot in my Nespresso machine. I used 1 double espresso dolce pod. You can also use an espresso machine to make your espresso, like the Breville I have here. You could use instant espresso powder, mix that with some water. You could use a mocha pot, an AeroPress. There's many, many ways to make espresso at home. Unfortunately, you can't just buy espresso from the store. It is a type of coffee that you do have to make yourself, but there are easy ways like instant espresso and Nespresso machines, and then there's harder ways like a Breville espresso machine. I will link some resources in the description for ways to make espresso using the 5 different methods I just talked about, but you do need espresso for this recipe because a latte means espresso and milk. Espresso is crucial in the recipe. Next thing you'll need the Chobani Cookie Dough Creamer, of course. You need some milk. I have 2% milk here, but feel free to use whatever milk you like. Whipped cream, and then I have the Torani dark chocolate sauce that we're gonna drizzle over the top. So let's get into the recipe. First things first, taking my milk. For a hot latte, you need steamed milk. Steamed milk is milk that gets steamed. You're adding hot, moist air into your milk to create texture, heat, lots of bubbles, and that real smooth velvetyness that you get in a latte. So I'm gonna show you how to steam your milk without an espresso machine. Usually you'll steam it using a steam wand like you see on an espresso machine, but you don't need one in order to make hot lattes at home. You just need some milk and a cup. I'm doing 6 ounces. I like a stronger coffee tasting latte. If you like a more milky, kind of mild coffee tasting latte, add more milk. Do 8 to 10 ounces. I'm doing 6. And then 2 tablespoons of the Chobani Cookie Dough Creamer. This is acting as like our syrup or our sweetener flavoring for the drink. Then I pop this in the microwave for 60 seconds. I just have to turn the AC off because it's too loud. And then every time I'm doing a video, I'm like dying. 20 seconds. This is the longest minute of my life. Still not? Good Lord. All right, milk and creamer have been warmed. I'm gonna add to this milk pitcher or milk jug just because it's a little bit taller, and I'm wanting to froth this mixture with a milk frother to create that texture that we talked about that you usually see in steamed milk. So again, the handheld milk frother that I used in the first recipe to create the cold foam, just doing the exact same thing. Put in the end of the milk frother in the jug, and the texture is starting to get nice and velvety and smooth, just like with a steam wand. It's awesome. You are so beautiful. Milk is foaming. I'm gonna use this little cute pink cup. So cute and pink. Add in the espresso. Again, a double shot of espresso. It's about 2.5 ounces of liquid. And then our steamed milk / creamer cookie dough situation. Hallelujah. I have to take a sip because I need to add whipped cream and it's gonna spill over per usual. Taste test. Excuse me? It's so good. Topping it off with some whipped cream. Whipped cream on top. Gorgina, and then a little drizzle of the Torani dark chocolate sauce. Completely optional, but gives it a little bit more chocolatey goodness. Nothing like a brand new drizzle. Oh my gosh, this one's like thick. That's a thick boy. Hallelujah, she is stunning. This looks just absolutely delightful. Let's give it an official taste test. Oh yeah. That's delicious. Delish. If you're a hot coffee drinker, this recipe is fabulous. It's another easy way to use your coffee creamer, but just elevate it a little bit more. All right, let's move on to recipe number 3. I am so excited for this one. Recipe number 3 is an Oreo cheesecake cookie dough frappe. What? Ingredients you'll need: Chobani Cookie Dough Creamer, Torani cheesecake syrup, some whipped cream. I'm using chocolate milk, but you can use regular milk. This is the Fairlife 30-gram of protein one for a little extra protein boost. Instant espresso or instant coffee, little pinch of salt, some Oreo cookies, xanthan gum, and ice. That's it. That's it. Like, it's only a couple ingredients. Let's get on with the recipe. Moving on over to your blender. Add in 8 ounces of milk. This is a 30-gram of protein for 11 ounces. So we're getting between 20 and 25 with just the 8 ounces of liquid. And then you can chug the other 3 if you want. Then going in with half a tablespoon of instant espresso. This is the Nescafe Gold. I like this one a lot. I'm almost done with the whole jar. You can find it on Amazon. I've seen like some grocery stores carry it, not Target. Someone just told me they found it at Kroger. We don't have Kroger where I'm at, but check Kroger or Amazon. Instant espresso, you can completely skip that to make it no caffeine and just like a cream frappe. Half a tablespoon to 1 tablespoon of the Torani cheesecake syrup. This one smells so good. You could also substitute this for, is it cheesecake jello or cheesecake pudding mix? You can use that. And then if you wanted to do like no sugar added, do a sugar-free one. 2 tablespoons of the cookie dough creamer by Chobani. Xanthan gum. I love using xanthan gum for at-home frappes. I do just 1/4 of a teaspoon, an itty bitty amount, just like that, little pinch. And this is a game changer when it comes to improving the texture of your at-home frappes. Usually without it, you get like more of a slushy vibe where it's real icy, chunky, and clumpy. The xanthan gum is a thickening agent that binds together the liquid and the ice to give you just a really smooth texture. Starbucks has that as an ingredient in all of their frappes. And once I found that out and started using it, I'm telling you, it's been a game changer for at-home frappuccinos. Then a generous pinch of flaky salt. This is optional, but I find that anytime I add salt to like a sweetener like this, it just enhances the flavor so much and it's so delicious. And then I am going to do 2 Oreo cookies. Bloop. Right in. Skip it, don't skip it, totally up to you. And then ice. I buy a big ol' bag from Sonic and do 1.5 cups of ice. And now we blend. I blend until the mixture is folding in on itself at all 4 corners, like this. You want it to be nice and smooth. It should take 60 to 90 seconds. The frappe is all blended up, but before we pour it into the cup, I'm taking another Oreo, put it in a little baggie so we can mash it. I use a rolling pin just to break it up into some clumps. All right, then take your cup, add the frappe in, and look at this frappe texture. Oh my word, look how creamy. Stunning. Stunning, stunning. Whipped cream on top. Ta-da. And then those Oreo cookie crumbles to garnish over the top. Yum! Oh my word. So beautiful. You're beautiful, it's true. Good Lord, it's stunning. All right, let's taste test this bad boy. Oh yeah, the chocolate milk is a phenomenal idea. This is just delightful. So delightful. 20 out of 10. Delish. This is like a decadent cheesecake. Like from Cheesecake Factory. It tastes so good. I'm not even kidding. And it's like thick and creamy, almost like a chocolate mousse. So good. Wow. Delicious. Note, each tablespoon of this creamer has 6 grams of sugar. 6 grams per tablespoon, which is like identical to a Torani syrup. In order to minimize the sugar in the drink, use 1 tablespoon of this creamer instead of 2. I don't think Torani has a sugar-free cheesecake syrup, but you could substitute with sugar-free cheesecake pudding mix to cut out more sugar. And then don't add the Oreos into the drink, just add them to the top. And instead do sugar-free chocolate chips in the Frappe, blend that up, and then sugar-free whipped cream. If you are concerned, you know, about sugar or looking to still enjoy this drink at a lower sugar amount. All right, let's clean up and move on to recipe number 4. All right, recipe number 4 is chocolate peanut butter cookie dough chia pudding. Say that 5 times fast. This is a great healthy breakfast if you're looking to get in more fiber, a little bit of protein. If you haven't had chia pudding, it is delicious. The chia seeds absorb a lot of the liquid and get kind of like jelly-like, pudding-like. Honestly, really, really good. And we're going for chocolatey peanut butter cookie dough vibes today. Ingredients, you will need Chobani Cookie Dough Creamer, your favorite chocolate protein milk or chocolate milk. This Fairlife one, I get them at Sam's Club and they're 30 grams of protein for the whole 11-ounce bottle. We're only gonna use about 4 ounces of it, so it's gonna be about 10-ish grams of protein. You need chia seeds, a little pinch of flaky sea salt, the Torani sugar-free peanut butter syrup. If you don't have this syrup, you can also opt for peanut butter powder or just regular old peanut butter. And then for the toppings of the chia pudding, I do have some peanut butter and cacao nibs to keep with that chocolate peanut butter vibe. So let's make the chia pudding. You can make a whole bunch of these for the week if you want. And then you can also, of course, switch up the ingredients to make different flavored chia puddings. But this is a really easy way to use your coffee creamer in a different way. So to begin, get a jar or bowl, something with a lid that you can stash in the refrigerator overnight or for a few hours. And I like to add in the milk first, just half a cup of chocolate milk. Right into the jar. I got these jars from IKEA, but you can get them from Amazon or wherever. 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, little pinch of flaky salt. Like I said earlier, I just feel like the salt always brings out the deliciousness of the other flavors. 1 to 2 tablespoons of the Chobani Cookie Dough Creamer. 2 tablespoons is 12 grams of sugar. So if you want to keep that lower, just do the 1 tablespoon. And then 1 tablespoon of the Torani sugar-free peanut butter syrup. Again, feel free to use powdered peanut butter in this recipe if you prefer. And then that's it. We just mix this together. This recipe right here is about 14 grams of protein using the Fairlife milk, and the chia seeds have like 4.5-ish grams of protein per 2 tablespoons. So not terrible for a breakfast. Maybe have some eggs with it or add some Greek yogurt on top if you want for extra protein. It's also just a great, you know, pretty high protein snack. I'm giving this a mix just to combine all of the chia seeds, making sure they're not stuck to the bottom or anything. And then just let this sit for 2 to 3 minutes, and then we're gonna mix again. I'll be back in 3 minutes. I'll be back. It's been about 3 minutes. You just kind of want to let the chia seeds settle a little bit, and then we mix one more time. Really, 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 really well. You don't want the chia seeds to get, you know, any clumps. You don't want any of them to not be in the liquid, or else they're just gonna stay hard. When they're in the liquid and they sit for a minimum of 2 hours, upwards to overnight or a few days, they get really soft, jelly-like I mentioned. Perfect. And then add a lid and refrigerate for a minimum of 2 hours or overnight. Overnight is preferred to soak up all of that liquid. And after it's sat overnight, we'll top with the peanut butter and cacao nibs. I'll see you tomorrow. Psych. I made them last night. Okay, this is what the chia pudding looks like after it's been sitting overnight. Definitely jelly-like. I'll show you the texture. Basically like oatmeal. It literally looks just like oatmeal. I'm gonna taste it without any toppings. It tastes like chocolate peanut butter pudding with cheese seeds in it. Delightful, so good. I should have done Greek yogurt on top. That would have been perfect. Oh my gosh, I do have some Greek yogurt. Do I want to add that? I think I do. Yeah, I do. It just hit me that I really want to add Greek yogurt to this. This is just gonna be a perfect little addition. So you also need Greek yogurt, optional. I do have vanilla, but you could use regular to keep the sugar even lower. Just a couple tablespoons of Greek yogurt, a few tablespoons, hefty tablespoons on top. I just feel like the Greek yogurt is gonna give it such a perfect balance of sweetness and freshness and creaminess. And then some peanut butter. I personally love this one. I get it from Walmart. It's the Crazy Richards 100% peanuts creamy because it's like the best to drizzle. You don't even have to microwave it. Like, look at this peanut butter drizzle. Hello, beautiful little drizzle. I don't know about you, but I love that in a peanut butter. I love that. And then cacao nibs. These are basically chocolate chips without sugar. If you do 3 tablespoons, you can add an extra 4 grams of protein. Heck yeah. I don't need that many. I don't want that many. Just a little sprinkle for some crunch. Cacao nibs are not sweet on their own. They're like really bitter. Oh, good Lord. Why did I do that? I knew they were terrible. Oh God, don't eat cacao nibs on their own. Holy buckets. Oh yeah, I'm sorry if I'm not selling you on the cacao nibs. Don't eat them alone, eat them with something else because even though they're not sweet, it's like they take on the sweetness of whatever food they're being paired with. So peanut butter, Greek yogurt, the peanut butter in here, the creamer, it's gonna help make this a little sweeter. And this is the final chia pudding product. Can you see it? Am I gonna spill it? Looks yum, right? Give it a taste test. Get all the layers, the Greek yogurt, chia pudding, peanut butter, cacao nibs. Oh my word. Katerina Faith. That is delightful. Holy moly. I'm gonna eat this whole jar right now. 100 out of 10. The Greek yogurt, fabulous addition. You need it. Peanut butter, chocolatey, cookie dough, the crunch of the cacao nibs. I love the texture of chia pudding. I know it's not for everyone. If you don't love the texture, you could always blend everything in a blender that we put in the jar before refrigerating overnight. And that does help a lot with the texture. But I like it. It tastes like oatmeal, honestly, but with higher protein. As soon as I'm done filming, I'm gonna eat this whole jar because this is so good. Go me. Chocolate peanut butter cookie dough chia pudding for the win. Absolutely delicious. You have to give this one a try. Let's clean up and we will jump into recipe number 5. For the 5th and final recipe we're making in this video, we're doing an iced cookie dough oat milk matcha latte. Ingredients you will need: matcha powder. This is the Chamberlain matcha. It's unsweetened. If you want one that tastes a little bit more like Starbucks, then opt for a sweetened matcha powder. I'll link a sweetened one and this one in the description below. You also need some oat milk. I love the Chobani Extra Creamy or the Oatly Barista Edition. Chobani Cookie Dough Creamer, optional. You can add collagen powder. This adds just a little bit of protein to the drink. And then you need ice and a little bit of warm water. Let's start with the recipe. I am gonna show the traditional way to make a matcha latte. If you're using a sweetened matcha powder, you can just combine the matcha powder with a little bit of warm water, whisk it together with a milk frother, and then add it into your drink. I'm gonna show the steps for a more traditional matcha making method. So you take a sieve. Is this what? Sieve? Sieve. Strainer. Oh my gosh. I think it's called a sieve. A sifter. Sifter. Place it on top of your matcha bowl. This bowl is from Jade Leaf Matcha. I love Jade Leaf Matcha. I just happen to have a Chamberlain one that I need to get rid of, so I haven't bought a new one in a while. I do 2 teaspoons, 2 to 3 teaspoons of matcha, or like 2 heaping scoops in this little matcha scoopy. The point of this sifter is to break up any clumps in the matcha. So you want to just gently tap or use a little scoop to kind of push the matcha through the sifter. And again, because it's going through all the little itty bitty holes, it's breaking up all of those clumps before we add the water. I am going to add 1 scoop of the Vital Protein collagen powder. This dissolves completely. You can't taste it at all. Like I promised, you can't taste it at all. And it dissolves in the hot water. 1/4 cup of warm water. Not hot water, not cold, just warm. We don't want it scalding hot and we don't want to burn the matcha. Then I have a little matcha whisk and I'm moving the whisk in M motions. M motions or like zigzag motions. Can you see how my hand is? I'm not swirling it in circles. I'm doing zigzags, kind of like an M or a Z. And whisk until the matcha is frothy and bubbly. Should take at least a minute. And again, this is just a traditional matcha making method. If you Google traditional matcha ceremony, and every step of the matcha making process has a specific intention. Like the whole point of matcha making is to be present in the moment, to appreciate the different aromas. And I think it's honestly pretty cool. Definitely Google it if you've never Googled it before. All right, we've gotten pretty foamy. We're looking good. And then I'm just gonna froth up this Chobani creamer a little bit. Not like the first recipe where I'm adding heavy cream. I'm just doing 2 tablespoons just to give it a little bit of texture. I'm not wanting to necessarily create a cold foam, but I do want this to have just a little bit more of a foamy, frothy texture to it. Just adding it to a cup to froth up a little bit. Delicioso, oso. Creamer has been frothed, just a smidge. I have a cup of ice, adding in the Chobani oat milk. Adding in the oat milk, about 8 ounces, a cup or so. And then the matcha. Yum. And then the frothy creamer on top. It's like foamy and frothy now, but it definitely, uh-oh. Katerina. Stunning. Oh my gosh, Becky. Stir it just a little. That way we get all the flavors. Oh my gosh, so excited for this. Oh my word. I love matcha and chocolate together. I tried it recently and it was just blown away at how good it is. This creamer with the matcha, wow, very, very good. If you're a matcha drinker, this drink is definitely a 10 out of 10. You have to give it a try. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it gave you some inspiration on ways to use the Chobani Cookie Dough Creamer. Let me know if there's another Chobani coffee creamer flavor you want to see me make recipes for. And let me know in the comments below which of the 5 recipes we made today you're most excited to try. I think of the 5, my absolute favorite was the cold brew, the first one we made, but I also really, really loved the chia pudding. That turned out fantastic. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Mwah. Got a blast. Booyah, booyah, ooh. That was so fun, yeah. Booyah, booyah, ooh. That was so fun, yeah. I had fun, did you have fun? Yeah, I had fun, did you? Yeah, 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 yeah.